Hi guys, it is 12:34 on Thursday. Here is your daily dose of hope. And I thought of a quote. It came to me. I just went for a walk because it's beautiful out today. And I said, circumstances do not dictate my energy. So I am facing a lot of real fears, like deep fears. And I am just ultimately so grateful because it's bringing me back to myself for the first time. And it's just amazing when you see things differently. I've done a lot of tapping the past couple days. And seeing how you can have like an intrusive thought, like you can have a thought and you think it's going to kill you, like, ow, or like a punch in the gut type of feeling, or like even more graphic. But the facts are, there are things you can do to process your response to that thought so that you can have that thought and it doesn't necessarily hit you as hard. And I'm just so grateful for tapping because it's one of the modalities I use now. And I was tapping along to a YouTube about it last night, just the way it worked out. And they talked about basically like an open wound and how when you have like a fresh open wound, anything, like even the air hurts. But the more that you heal that wound, it's not that people might, you can't control other people or circumstances necessarily. But it doesn't like set you back, like so far. Like a slingshot type of feeling. That's how I always felt, like I was running away from things and trying to do the right thing always, but not letting myself feel the justified anger of like, this isn't okay. Like, how about that? This actually isn't okay. And then getting slingshot back, because it's my inner child or my soul saying, this isn't right. This isn't right. We're going to keep making noise till you listen. And so all that to say that, like, I am definitely in the process of processing, but it's like undeniable how like I went for a walk today, and I didn't just go for a walk and force myself. I like naturally did that. I've done breath work in the morning. This is the second day I've done that. And just learning, and like I call it meta learning too. So it's like you're learning things, but you're also learning that's okay to learn, Like, as I always say, if you don't understand, that's perfectly fine. Just be grateful you don't understand and you have like a solid foundation to start with. But I'm really here to help the people, especially who don't, like, they go to that, there's nothing there. It's like, I didn't get a firm foundation. I didn't get a safe foundation. So how am I supposed to feel safe in the world? And it's just incredible how validating, like saying, of course you feel scared. Why wouldn't you feel scared? As opposed to don't feel scared or grow up or all these just things that's like, okay, that's what I'm trying to do. But the reality is, like, the people didn't do their job. So now I'm having to do that job. And I really think, I still believe this, like, in my heart, that like our world could use this mental reframe of, instead of like once you become 18 you're now an adult, it's like, do you have the skills you need? Like, are there gaps in your skills as far as operating in the world, or like, self-worth and things like that, and not having that shame attached. And I thought of this thing the other day. It was like, I don't think our biggest fear is fear. I think our biggest fear is having shame about having fear. shame is what is like, yeah. Because if I said, I'm actually looking at possibly getting like a compression vest, I have a little bit of like trepidation about it, but I shouldn't need to. Because like if someone else told me, oh, or if their kid needed it, you know, if you're a decent person, you would be like, yeah, if that helps them, why not? So it's not the needing things, it's the shame about needing things. So anyway, just speaking from my heart as always, I'm proud of myself because this is day 2, so I'm holding, you know, I'm fulfilling my thing. And I don't have all the answers by any means, but I do see how, like, the YouTube was talking about how you need the anger, which I've been saying too, you know, just instinctively. You need the anger so that you can examine it and say, is this something that is justified? Like, is this something where change needs to happen? And the woman said something that really touched me that I identified with because I was tapping along the whole time. She said part of her is afraid to lose the anger because if she lost the anger, then that means it was possible to do that in her mind. And then that means it was possible a long time ago. And then it's like she went through all this for nothing. And I'm so glad the host, you know, corrected her and was like, no, like you needed to go through that. And the visual I got as I was like listening to this was a tunnel, right? Like you go through a tunnel to get to the light. Like you go through the tunnel. You don't then get to the end of the tunnel and turn around and be like, I didn't have to go through. You had to. There's like mountains on either side or lava or whatever you want to say. You have to go through the tunnel. And it was like, stop like sabotaging your healing by trying to say, well, if I could have done that all along, you couldn't have done it all along. You didn't know what you know now. I didn't know about tapping until I learned about tapping. And I learned about tapping because I was in an abusive situation, and I have this, like deep down, I have this fire inside of me that's like, I'm not just going to give up, and I'm certainly not going to spread the hate, so where do I go? And I remember because, you know, my ex-husband was like, don't put your email, that's a scam or whatever. Well, it turned out not to be a scam, you know? Sometimes you have to trust. You have to try something if you want things to change, right? So, anyway, I love you guys. Remember, you are the sky. You were here today. You were here yesterday. You're here today. You will be here tomorrow. And you deserve to be here every single day. You deserve to be here. I'm really proud of myself and really grateful because I am scratching and clawing my way out of this grave of, like, I'm not going to go back to things that I know aren't good for me. Well, now what type of thing? But it's like, okay, but you know what? Like one of the women is, you know, like looking for a job, and it helped to tap along and be like, the things out of our control are out of our control. So we're going to be able to handle things better if we're taking care of ourselves regardless of circumstances. And I'm trying to tell, especially my inner child, like, I'm here now. And I'm obviously a very loving person. Like, I take care of my daughter. Like, you know, I need to take care of myself too, like take care of myself. And I took a shower this morning after doing the breath work and the tapping, and, you know, set a timer, but like didn't dig, like I had happy music on, but I sat on the shower floor and I was like, breathe and think of, you know, and yeah, it's just creating that time and space. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen on any level, but I see how I'm changing. Like, I'm healing, and I'm like filling in these very deep holes of and like realizing my pattern has been, if someone's been mean to me or, left me, I'll punish myself further. I mean, that's the truth. So it's like, okay, we're not doing that anymore. And I'm just honoring myself more, or at least trying to, which is all you can do. And I just see myself like preparing a ship to go out to sea. And it's like, I'm going to keep preparing my ship. I don't know who's going to end up on it. But it's like a pursuit worth doing. Of like, I still want what I want. I just don't know if I'm going to get it. But all I know is today, it's a beautiful day. And I realized, like, I asked my inner child, like, you want to go for a walk? And it was kind of like, I don't know, we could try it. So I didn't force myself, I didn't do any of that. I just sort of got up and was like, I mean, empirically speaking, it's good to take a walk, and then, like I said, I listened to a health meditation on the way there and back. So that can't hurt me. Now, if I clicked into programming and it was like, I'll do it for 2.5 hours, still working on moderation. But today was literally a step in the right direction. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. And I'm just starting to align with, I see what is good for me and having to let go of everything that doesn't align with that. That's how I can bring my best to the world. So, love you guys. Have an awesome day.